So for part E, I gave the hint that this is a telescopic series in disguise. So I'm going to show you how it's done now. So I'm going to let S equal my sum, which is sine of 1 degree plus sine of 2 plus all the way up to sine of 90. And it's pretty easy to show that this is also equal to cos of 0 plus cos of 1 plus all the way up to cos of 90. Because sine and cos are complementary angles. Now, the trick here is to multiply both sides by sine of a half. Because by multiplying both sides by sine of a half, we can use the formula we worked out in part D to help us simplify this question to a telescopic series. So, sine of a half times S is equal to sine of a half of cos of 0 plus sine of a half times cos of 1 plus all the way up to sine of a half times cos of 90, which in fact is just 0. Now I'm going to spend some time manipulating the formula we worked out in part D. In part D, we worked out that sine of A plus B plus sine of A minus B is equal to 2 sine of A cos of B. By rearranging, I can say that sine of A cos of B is equal to sine of A plus B plus sine of A minus B over 2. And I'm going to use this formula here and substitute values in to simplify this question. So, coming down here, this is equal to A is half and B is 0. So we have sine of a half plus sine of a half over 2. The second value, we've got sine of 3 on 2 plus sine of negative a half over 2. The third time we would get sine of 5 over 2 plus sine of negative 3 over 2 over 2. And this would carry on, and we would finally get sine of 181 over 2 plus sine of negative 179 over 2 all over 2. I can rewrite this as sine of a half plus sine of a half over 2 plus sine of 3 on 2 minus sine of a half over 2 plus sine of 5 over 2 minus sine of 3 over 2 over 2 plus dot dot dot, and this is going to continue until we get sine of 181 over 2 minus sine of 179 over 2 all over 2. The really cool thing about now is that a lot of the terms will cancel. So you can see that this sine of a half, negative sine of a half, will cancel with this sine of a half. Likewise, we know that this sine of negative 3 on 2 will cancel with this sine of 3 over 2. And this will continue all the way through the term. So sine of 5 over 2 will be cancelled all the way up until this last term. And this last term, sine of 179 over 2, negative sine of 179 over 2 will also be cancelled with a positive version as well. So this is what I meant by the telescoping series. Only the start and the end are left. So we're left with sine of 181 over 2 plus sine of a half over 2. But remember, this is the value for sine of a half times s. So to find s, we're going to have to divide both sides by sine of a half. So therefore, s is equal to sine of 181 over 2 plus sine of a half over 2 sine of a half. Now this is equal to sine of 90 plus a half plus sine of a half over 2 sine of a half. I can write this as cos of a half over 2 sine of a half plus a half, which is equal to 1 over 2 tan of a half plus a half. And that's what I get for part E.